Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A day of introspection, a day of profit booking, and a day ahead of the weekend where bulls are taking it a bit easy, giving back some of those fantastic 3.5% gains that they've made on the Nifty over the last 15, 16 sessions or so. So the Nifty down 105, Nifty Bank down 400 points. IT index down 130. Nothing to be worried about. These are just profit booking happening after a very sharp rally. What is interesting is that we should close above 26,000 today as a weekly stop, and that itself is a very, very big achievement. Remember, just yesterday the Nifty hit a record high, and a bit of profit booking now coming in given the weakness that we saw overnight on Wall Street and early morning in Asian markets. But this is a different chapter, ladies and gentlemen. We're welcoming Mr. Kunal Shah, Head of Commodities Research at Nirmal Bank Securities, to discuss what's happening in the alternate asset class, in the world of Bitcoins, in the world of precious metals, copper in particular, as also the international indices of the dollar index and the US 10-year yield. First and foremost, look at the performance of silver and gold over the last 1 week or so. A bit of profit booking, silver down 2.5%, gold down about 1%, but all is well on the year-to-date basis. Silver has given a whopping 70% return, and gold futures have appreciated 53%. Let's get Kunal's view in on what is likely to happen. Kunal bhai, a very warm welcome as usual. You are the top expert as far as commodities and precious metals are concerned. Paint for us a picture of what's going out in the commodity space.
Well, thank you very much for kind words. And as far as commodities are concerned, we've seen a great bull run in the year 2025, where prices of gold, silver, platinum all have risen by 60%, 80%, 110%. This kind of return what we've seen during the year. And now during the end of the year, we are seeing profit taking, correction, healthy consolidation is taking place in the entire complex. There are three reasons why, like you said about Bitcoin and alternative asset class, there are three reasons which are accounting for the recent correction. Number one is the rate cut expectation after the US inflation number have surged. So the expectation of aggressive rate cut in December is completely taken off. Most of the people are saying that it's like 50-50, which earlier was 85% chances of 50 basis point of rate cut. Number two, the data in the US has finally started to falter, and the numbers are not good. Job market number or the other numbers are not great. And third, most importantly, the sharp surge in the 10-year bond yield and 30-year bond yield of Japan, which led to liquidation in alternative asset class like Bitcoin. Everywhere where there is a froth in the market, all those things which are considering having a froth in the market is getting real big hammers. So Bitcoin was one of them. If the Japanese liquidity is likely to get sucked and they are going to go to another safe haven instrument, then all the risky instruments are going to have a very difficult time. So Japan is a source of liquidity for the global financial market for quite a number of years, and if Japan is having its own problem, so the liquidity is flowing into safe haven instrument in fixed income market rather than in and it's getting liquidated from all the risky asset class. That is one of the reason why Bitcoin and other alternative instruments are witnessing profit taking.
Okay, I'll request the PCI to kindly fire the Bitcoin daily chart. What you see, ladies and gentlemen, is a correction of 33% from a high of about $1,24,000 per Bitcoin in 6th of October down to what you see, $85,000. So a nice 33% correction from its most recent record high. Kunalji, according to you, is this done, this froth taken out, especially in the Bitcoin space, or are you expecting more downside? The most recent low on the Bitcoin that we have seen is 75,950. This was in April 9th, 2025. Is that a number that you expect to be touched?
Yeah, so I believe that we are in a liquidation phase right now, and more to do with what is happening in Japan. And I think I read today's morning news that they've come up with a fiscal stimulus of in dollar terms what $170 billion, something like that, 25 trillion yen. That is what their stimulus size was all about. So if you look at Japan's 10-year bond yield, which are at 1.8%, US 10-year bond yield at 4.41%. So all the money seems to be going into the dollar and the safe haven instrument, because right now in this kind of scenario, people are worried to invest in other asset class. US markets look stoppish, and I believe yes, there is further downside. It can test levels of 76,000 Bitcoin, and before it stabilizes there, we can see it can test those kind of levels.
ठीक है, तो ये तो बात हुई बिटकॉइन की. नाउ इन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ प्रेशियस मेटल्स, स्पेशली गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर, कुणाल जी, इज दिस रैली इनफ? 70% on silver and 50% on gold year to date. Do we see some profit booking here as well?
Yes, profit taking is taking place ever since we've seen silver having a premium of 25,000 rupees on Indian physical market, and ever since that day, gold and silver both have halted. The upside is halted, and on every rise we are seeing liquidation taking place in both instruments. So silver, I believe, can go down and test levels of 1,45,000, and as far as gold is concerned, we are expecting gold to go down and test levels of 1,18,000. So in near term, whatever upside which you may see during the day or week, not going to last, and the call is to sell on rise. $4,100 good levels to go short. $3,008 should be your interim target.
Okay, what is your estimate, Kunalji, of the physical market of gold and silver? Is it now adequately liquid? Most of the rally was because physical silver and physical gold had disappeared from Javeri Bazaar, from jewelers shops and all, and therefore you saw that mad rush either to cover short positions or to get hold of some physical product. Now, what according to you is the Mumbai bullion market telling you?
I think what Bombay's bullion market has been telling me, that what we saw 25,000 rupees of premium in silver was a one-time event, not going to happen, because at that time everyone was who has missed the rally, they wanted to catch the bus, and I've seen people buying silver in the physical market at 1,70,000, 1,75,000, 1,80,000, 1,85,000, because it's like जब लास्ट टाइम निफ्टी ने ऑल टाइम हाई टेस्ट किया था, सबको लग रहा था कि ये नया हाई मारेगा और 1.5 साल का कंसोलिडेशन आ गया. सो सिमिलरली सिल्वर में भी ऐसा ही हुआ है. द सेम थिंग इज हैपेंड इन सिल्वर, वेयर 1,75,000, 1,80,000 इन स्पॉट मार्केट सबने लिया, and that eventually turned out to be a top, and ever since then markets are going down and are consolidating. So मेरी राय में वो रेट अभी जल्दी से आने नहीं वाला है. एक बार नीचे में पहले 1,45,000 आएगा ऐसा लग रहा है.
That's very interesting. But 1,45,000 should silver hit. Again, do you see this upsurge, or is the best part of the rally behind us?
Obviously, yes. We have seen the best part of the rally. This kind of return, what we have seen, is very difficult to be. We are not going to see this kind of return during the year 2026. This was an exceptional year for the entire commodities and the bullion. We expect very tepid and very moderate return going forward. And we do recommend to buy, but not at these levels. We recommend to buy at correction.
Fine. So at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, silver futures on MCX are trading just about on their 21-day exponential moving average 152 545 per kilo. Let's see how they move from here. Now coming to another asset class, which is copper. What is the prognosis on the copper market globally? Kunalji, there was a physical shortage when one of the mines closed down in Argentina, I think.
Yes, not in Argentina, in Mexico and Chile. We have seen two big mines having and one big mine was closed in Indonesia. That was Grasberg, and Grasberg mine is now open. So short term, the supply side has improved dramatically, but long term supply issues continue to hover. In a scenario where the treatment and refining charges of copper are still at $2, we believe that the entire smelting capacity of China, we are going to see huge cutbacks going forward, and that should help to balance out the market. And the concentrate side of the copper is very tight in current scenario, so the downside is limited. 980, 975 good levels to accumulate copper for the upside target of 1030.
Now let's look at the two most important charts in the world of commodity traders and buyers and sellers, the dollar index and the US 10-year yield. Firstly, on the dollar index, this is now back in 3 digits after hitting 97, 98 in October. What's the prognosis on the dollar index given what's happening geopolitically?
I think it's the consensus trade which had built that the dollar index is going to decline and remain weak, and suddenly we are seeing 4% upside in dollar index. So we believe that upside is limited, 101, 100, 150, that's it. But the weakness in dollar index is expected to continue going forward.
Okay, fair point. And how about the US 10-year yield? Still below 200 DMA? Is still
so I think US yields, the upside from here is very limited, because if you look at the interest rate differential, Japan 10-year bond yield at 1.8%, US 10-year bond yield at 4.1%. So whatever fiscal stimulus Bank of Japan is giving, the likelihood of that money going to US is very high, considering they are offering a higher rates than the Japanese 10-year. So I am of the view that it should not go above 4.3, 4.35, and it should perhaps go below 4% going forward in next 1 month.
Okay, so that's a bit of a comfort even for equity investors and fund managers on Dalal Street as well. A low US 10-year yield, ladies and gentlemen, pushes US fund managers to look for other assets in the emerging markets to try and make something better than 3.5%, less than 3%, what they will make by buying US Treasury. Kunalji, anything else in the world of metals that interests you? You are mildly bearish on gold and silver. Copper looks good to you. But anything that catches your fancy on the long side or the short side in the metal space?
Metal do look positive from the slightly broader point of view. In a shorter term, there is a correction. 3 reasons. China likely to cut down the excess capacity. Number 2, China is coming up with the stimulus in the real estate sector, and that is going to be positive. And number 3, prolonged expectation of weakness in the US dollar. So I believe copper, aluminum and zinc, this 3 metal looks very attractive to us, and we recommend them at any dip of 1.5-2%.
Okay. How about the agri space? We've had great monsoons. How do you see the incoming agri space? Anything there attracts you? Coffee has been hitting record highs.
I think in agri also we are seeing some seasonal disruptions lately. So in the winter crop, some of the crop may have a difficult time, some of the soft crop. But broadly, it has been a good season. So I don't expect any major sustainable long-term bull run in agri commodities. So things are going to remain flat to stable as far as agri prices are concerned.
Okay, fair point. traditionally the government has been against sharp volatility in agri prices because it hurts rural incomes as well, and also urban households. So that's more or less a given. Now let's come to crude oil. Russian imports into India have stopped by OMC refiners and also Reliance. Given this backdrop in mind, that India will now be in the market to buy crude oil from other producers, how do you see crude oil futures over the next 1 month, 6 months or so?
I think with this, oil market should get tighter, and we believe that the downside will be very limited.
Okay.
Russia will have no choice but to cut its production going forward, and I believe that should lead to higher oil prices. 5150 will be the good level to make long position. Upside target should be around 54, 50, 5500.
Okay, Kunalji, with that wonderful wrap up on precious metals, agri space, as also a bit of crude oil, we'll call it a day. Thank you for joining us as usual. It's such a wonderful exercise to speak to you every fortnight to understand how money is flowing into and out of the world of commodities. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Kunal Shah, Head of Commodities Research at Nirmal Bank Securities. He sees a bit of selling pressure coming into and profit booking into gold and silver. Bitcoin should go down a bit given that the Japanese liquidity is easing out of the system, and of course agri looks flat, and crude oil markets could tighten a bit after Indian and Reliance purchases of Russian oil have paused. Thank you for watching. There's more happening on Business Today Television. Please remain with us on the other side of the break.
From overnight global cues to live Dalal Street moves, we decode what matters for your money today. From stocks to sectors to the top business news, we've got your morning game plan